Soon as we step on the mic, man, you notice the difference. Heavenly blessed with the melanin, baby, you know that we winning. No time for the long talk, got 120 on the clock. Wednesday 8 through 10, all the bad vibes better stop. Cause you gotta come with that energy. Kazual Konvo, baby, come down and just sit with me. Lil' Coco be spitting that remedy. Kazual Konvo, baby, come down and just sit with me. You better take this shit serious. She dropping knowledge on head and it's free for the play. Tap in right now if you curious. We got the ham radio going lit every A. We go from people to family to pilots. Stay with me if you got something to say. You know it's important if we go acknowledge. Speak on the business and get out the way. What you gonna say about my mama? She winning, you rockhead.
Welcome to the Kazual Konvo show with me, Coco, and my co-host Tajah. Why are you like this? Anyway, welcome to the Kazual Konvo show where we have conversations about topics that affect the community's personal and business relationships. We always have the casual convo, so you don't have to have the tough convo. Hello. Can I say one thing before we start? Remember last week?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm gonna start with an opener before we introduce the topic.
Okay.
So remember I was talking about little people?
Yeah.
So what was it, Monday, every day? I'm out with Nicole. She decides she wants to have dinner. So we're at dinner, right? Rich don't laugh neither. So I told you about the little person. So we go to the place to go eat. As soon as we walk in the door, I guess the greeter guy. So he's staring. We don't know who he looking at. In my mind, I'm like, he looking at Nicole. I'm like, who's he staring at like this? So the whole time we in dinner, he just going back and forth, just eyeballing, like not blinking, not nothing. It gets a little weird, right? So he walks past and he goes, "You look so beautiful." Mind you, he's about 4'8".
Hey, yo.
I said, God don't like ugly. I was just talking about this and I got set up.
Definitely did.
I ain't like that. You look so beautiful. Mind you, he's about 4'8".
Hey, yo. Yes, Rich with the sound effects.
I said, God don't like ugly. I was just talking about this and I couldn't get it out of my mind. And I was so uncomfortable. I was nervous. I didn't know what to do. So can you imagine trying to eat your dinner and somebody just like...
I wouldn't be able to eat.
And then he was putting on the same hand sanitizer, like giving me the whole baby rub. I said, oh my God. Time to go. So yeah, we left a little early. I don't never do one drink and I'm out, but it was a one drink and we was out.
Oh Lord.
Full food home, everything. Anyway.
Just hearing this story.
I was perturbed. Isn't that the word?
What's the topic? Want me to say a topic?
You can introduce it. Go ahead, knock yourself out.
Alrighty, let me get my paper so I can be professional.
We're gonna do jealousy.
Dang, she didn't even give me no chances.
Let me tell you how I came up with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Because we was talking about all the topics came up when you was giving me yours. And then when we did the whole series, we never touched on jealousy. And people always associate jealousy with like relationships, as far as like your personal one-on-one with your him, her, or whoever they people.
Mm-hmm.
People be jealous in friendships, business relationships, anywhere you go. People who don't even know you could be jealous of you. So we're going to talk about all of that.
Okay.
Yeah. So what, in your mind, what does jealousy mean to you?
What's a jealousy? I ain't think about that today. I ain't think about that.
Off the top then.
So when I think about jealousy, so I'm going to just tell you what I think about jealousy because I can't really give you a definition, but I'm going to tell you what I think. So when I think of jealousy, you know how everybody related to the color green? I always think of green.
Like envy?
Yeah, I think of that automatically. And then when I think of, and then the next thing I think about is just like...
Not Rufus.
Yes, Rufus. Right. Is like the insecurities that deal with jealousy. Like I don't even never think about what exactly it means. I just always think about the causes of it. So I really can't give you a definition, honestly.
What you mean?
So it's like what causes somebody to be jealous? Like I don't ever think like, oh, there's an actual definition to the word, because I'm just like, this person jealous because of this.
Okay.
Or
Well,
like I would not like it.
I think I want that on there. I think it's more so like resentment or somebody just like hating on you to a degree.
Yeah. But then you gotta explain hating on you. So like you know what I mean? Like you gotta like say like an example of it then. Because you know
Like you know
everybody
how somebody can be, you could just walk in the room and you know you cute. Everybody else know you cute, and then it's always that one person that's like,
right.
The haters. So, or it can be like it's like that emotion, anger, the little hostility, because you know we feel the steam coming off of people.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be stuff like that. Yeah, bitter.
Definitely.
We see a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to my local Google.
Yes, you did.
And it said jealousy may be driven by low self-esteem or poor self-image.
Insecurities.
That part.
Yeah.
Would you like to elaborate?
Elaborate. What you mean?
So you never ran across no bitter people. You never. So you mean to tell me you never ran across jealousy ever?
Oh, I definitely have. Definitely have.
I can't hear you.
Really?
Turn your Wi-Fi off and just use your phone.
It's not on Wi-Fi.
Oh, was you fading in and out? I'm sorry.
All right, what was I saying? Oh, I was saying that I always encounter it in work environments.
Mm-hmm. Like what? Elaborate.
Like, so like every time, like, so say I get promoted or like I'm in a higher position, it's always gets upset. They could be the same position as me and I've got promoted up to like that same position, or it could just be that I'm still at like a lower position, but I show qualities of a higher position. Like they just get really, they just get upset about that. And I never understand why.
Who get upset?
Like when people, like just like, it'll mainly, so like I would say like mainly like coworkers would be jealous of me. Like I've had coworkers be jealous of me. I don't really know if like anybody like friend-wise or anything like that was ever jealous of me, but I definitely that coworkers were.
Why? Like, what was it that let you know that they was jealous?
It would be like the little stuff that they would say about me. So like they would like talk about me for no reason, and they would just be making up stuff.
What you mean talk about you?
What you mean talk about you? Oh my god! So like they would probably say like, oh, she left this here, like she can never do nothing right, like, or they'll be like, oh, well, she ugly, or like something like that, just something dumb.
They called you ugly?
From a huh?
They called you ugly?
Yeah, right.
I don't like that.
I don't like that either, but they definitely did.
No,
but then they ended up actually admitting, like in one situation, the girl actually ended up admitting that she was jealous of me, and she had no idea why she didn't like me.
What you mean?
Right. So and then like she did tell me like and then she was like, and yeah, I'm probably a little bit jealous of you. That's how she said it, a little bit jealous.
So either you a little bit or you a lot.
Right. So she was like, I was just a little bit jealous of you, but I just don't like you. And I was like, well, why don't you like me? And she was like, I don't know, I just don't. Right. I feel like I'm a pretty cool individual, you know?
Right. Right.
Exactly. Maybe that's what it is. I could just be
What,
like a really
jealousy?
cool person. I could just be like a really cool person, really nice person, and people don't like that. They automatically think that something has to be wrong with me.
Okay.
Okay.
So what about friendships?
What about them?
So you know how you ever see in friendships where people be jealous of their friends?
Yeah,
And
I've seen.
we always say like it could be people that's like close to you, or the people that's closest to you are normally the ones that's jealous of you.
Yeah, I've heard that. Never had it happen, but I've heard that.
I'm saying it. I've been in that situation before.
Mhm.
Like quite a few times.
Explain.
Hmm. Do you
Explain.
ever okay, like you would have people who um let's say for instance, you could be cool with somebody, right? And you could, let's say, be supportive no matter anything that your friend does. But then when it comes to you, it's almost like you ever see somebody, as long as everything going good for them and the friendship. So let's say you have a circle of friends. I gotta get this out first. And everybody do their own thing or whatever. Everybody look different. But you ever know when it's always that one that gotta have all the attention.
Yeah.
And then when they don't have the attention, and let's say the friend who don't get all the attention, say randomly all of a sudden get attention, and next thing you know, I have a friend ready to go, or it's a bust
Yeah, I've seen that.
because that's like jealousy. Or if you have a period where things may not be going right, and then let's say things are going good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't nobody want to hear about it. But as long as you got a bad story to tell, or you going through some troubles, it could be relationship, anything. But then soon as you not, when you in a happy place, the same way you happy for them, they don't be happy for you. Or they'll try to find that one thing to say to steer you off of it or to make it negative so that you're not happy. That's jealousy. Some people don't want, sometimes in friendships, all friends don't want to see you happy or see you do better than them.
Yeah.
If that's, if you want to say it like that.
Mm-hmm. So have you ever had that happen?
That's why I don't have many friends.
Okay.
And that's why and that's also why I'm very like, I don't use the term friend loosely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why I always say people get too loose with saying, oh, because I know somebody. I don't care how long you knew people. Sometimes the people who you know the longest be the ones jealous of you or envious of you in a lot of situations. So, and I used to be like, oh, we cool. They not like that. This is that and the third. And the next thing you know, yep, it'd be like that.
It'd be like
Or
that.
mm-hmm. Some people just don't want to see you shine, even amongst your friends. It could be a night where you might be popping and all your stuff tight, but there's not. Next thing you know, I don't want to go. This is not fun. It's like there'll be a whole killjoy.
Yeah.
Or it could be, let's say you at work.
Mm-hmm.
And like, as you mentioned, you're getting promotions, you're getting all of these things. And let's just say a particular friend may have had a better job than you at one time. Or anything. They could have had their moment where they was just shining. You could have been very happy. And I celebrate everybody. But then when it's your season, and let's say they may go through a rough patch, all of a sudden, you sure you want to do that? I don't know. You shouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it if I was you. I would. You get what I mean? Or I wouldn't. This. They don't get it. And then sometimes people in your circumstance, everybody don't know how to be happy for people if they not happy. And that happens a lot in friendships. And then they get jealous of you elevating and moving forward.
Yeah, I don't like that. I feel like I would just see everything. Right.
Yes, misery loves company. True.
And red flags. No.
But sometimes we don't see them red flags in your friendships because you want to see the good in your friend. It's like, oh, I'm just trying to tell you, I've been through it, and this is that and the third. Or they will take their circumstances of what didn't work and push them on to you.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's not a. You're not.
I'm just saying. Stuff like that really bothers me. So I can't. I wouldn't be able to. No.
But it happens. You usually don't see it until it's your time. And usually some people will see it and that's why they always say, you ever heard of that saying, like, when people be like, I'm on the outside looking in.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the bigger picture, you can see better from the outside than when you in the picture. So some things you can't see. And it's been a lot of times I've been warned and I ignored it. And it's like, long as you are there.
Yeah.
For them. But then when it's your turn and your season, they go MIA. Or you start hearing the little things, or you still X, Y, and Z. You be like, yeah. I don't see, I couldn't be able to do it. And it was like, but you were, and I was happy for you, whatever your decision was being. Mm-hmm. And then they start to fall off. They don't want to communicate with you if you like in a happy place. But as long as you like struggling, not doing good, some people want to see you there.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you've ever been that friend?
What?
That was ever jealous of any of your friends, or just jealous, period? Like,
no,
even if
I don't think so. I don't think so. Because I like to see people win. I'm the motivator. And I think that's one thing that I get, what is it? My friends pull me up on. Mm-hmm. Richard even pulled me up on it before. And it's kind of like, I will pour into my friends. I pour into people I love, people I care about, because I look at my friends like they my family.
Yeah.
I don't look at them like, why wouldn't I be happy for you while it's in your career, while it's in your life, your appearance, your mate, anything. Okay, go ahead, be happy. Do I want to see my friends hurt? No. But it's not always like that when the shoe on the other foot.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people just stop talking to you when you get happy. And it's kind of like, well, when you don't show signs of you're not in that place. Mm-hmm. Some people want to see you just be their cheerleader. Some people don't know how to be cheerleaders for you.
Right.
Or it'll be.
But then where does that come from? Like, when you don't want to be like supportive of somebody else, like
selfish.
What type of security would that be?
It's selfishness. It's like, as long as you're there for them, it's okay. But when you need some, and it happens a lot, but when you need somebody to be in your corner, mm-hmm. It'd be like the same thing. In a way. And the next thing you know, the gossip starts. Then they start adding yeast to the truth because they like trying to talk into your downfall sometimes. Okay.
Yay.
Which one?
Right.
How'd it go?
Wait a minute. Nicole or Nicole?
Nicole. I don't know which Nicole.
I don't know which Nicole either.
Is she on the line? I can't hear.
Hello.
Nicole?
Is we live?
Yeah, we live. Nicole, I can't hear Rich. Hello?
I'm going through jealousy right now. Well,
Why?
not me, but Stella is. She is jealous that I'm on this phone and not paying her no mind. She keeps.
She'll be okay. So have you ever seen like I can't hear. Is she still here or is she having technical difficulties? Oh, I can't hear you. Hey.
You can hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, great.
Okay, I'm listening.
I'm sorry. I'm just hopping on the line. I'm trying to get into the conversation of jealousy.
Okay.
Okay.
So
to be jealousy.
How do you feel about jealousy amongst friends, Nicole? Well, welcome. Thank you for calling in.
yes.
Oh, not a problem at all. Well, jealousy in friendship, it just depends how close you are, because once you in that committed best friend relationship, they're gonna want your attention like a relationship, but at the same time, they don't want you spending time with other friends.
Yeah, that's true. I've experienced that too.
Mm-hmm.
How do you create boundaries with that though?
If that person really wants to be a friend, you just have to sit them down and talk to them, basically. Like, hey, I know we're real cool, but I think, we should take a step back because I have my personal life that I need to deal with outside our friendship.
Yeah. Some people don't always receive that because they just want to hold you all to themselves.
Yeah,
you know what? I
and
get blamed for the
that positively.
Yeah, and it's kind of like I think some friends just selfish, and I think when they get used to you always being able to be there, and then it's like when things start picking up, and then you can't, it becomes the issue.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's not even just about other people; it's just about you, period. And then sometimes people just grow in different ways, and sometimes you just got to take time for yourself or just to think.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's kind of like, oh, you acting funny. Then they'll be distant, or they just want you always around them.
Yeah, and that's a toxic relationship there.
That's a toxic friendship. So, question for you: have you ever experienced jealousy in your friendship?
It could be a toxic relationship and a toxic friendship. I had two friends fight over the same thing. Like, I had two separate friends, and they were both just feeding me lies, and because they didn't like each other, and I tried to get them to cut it out because they kept pulling me on the same day to do something with them. So I had to just say, "Hey."
They was playing tug of war.
I don't like that I don't like that choose me type thing. I think sometimes my personal saying is like, you got to know your friends. Sometimes you can't match your friends.
Wait,
you get what I mean?
A reason why they just couldn't be friends with each other, or why they were separate friends?
Some people just don't mesh. And
I'm asking about her situation. Was it they just couldn't be around each other, or you just kept them as separate friends?
They just couldn't be around each other in the same room.
Was it because of you? Because they wanted you all to themselves?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's not fair.
That's weird.
Now, I've been a friend that I haven't been jealous, but I've been a friend. I think in some instances, my friend hasn't realized it's not that this person has an issue with me. They just have an issue because if we hang out, you're not with them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then I've always been like, no. And then they try to, I think at that point, you got to do things different with the friends. You can't match the two friends together. But you also, I've been in situations where multiple times, actually, And I think we talked about it on here where somebody will say, oh, expect this, that, and the third. And I think you can't talk about your friends to your other friends, especially if they don't know each other in the same circle.
Yeah.
Because then that friend gets an impression, especially, sometimes you might vent about something. So if your friend is overprotective of you, what's the first thing they're going to do? I don't like that person. You know what I mean? Or they start to get, so then the jealousy turns into a very negative thing. It's beyond that. It's like, now I don't like you because of X, Y, and Z. So I think we sometimes also have to know the boundaries that we got to have amongst our friendship circles, even if all the friends are not friends.
Yeah, and long story short, to come to the, one of the friends that didn't like the other one, turns out she really did have a reason, because the one that didn't want me hanging around the other one turned out to be two-faced. So the friend that I knew the longest turned out to be more honest and truthful and more looking out for me than the other person. So sometimes jealousy can save, I don't know, yourself.
Or do you think sometimes when it's the friend don't want to see the truth, so they look at it as jealousy? Like in your situation where it's like you were kind of caught in the middle, right? So, and where the one friend was, was jealous, and it could be like an instance where they're like, oh, you're just jealous because I'm not spending time with you, or you jealous because I'm friends with this particular person, when in reality, you know what I mean? It's something, how sometimes I was like, it's something about this one.
Yeah, she kept on saying, it's something about her, like, I don't trust her. And she just kept telling me that. I'm like, it's okay. Like, y'all need to, I was like, y'all need to just stop. I said, I like you, and I like her, and I like hanging out with you, and I like hanging out with her. And it just came to find out that she was right. She was basically protecting me, and not, I guess she was jealous, but she, in world sense, I guess she was really trying to protect me.
Yeah. Have you ever seen where I don't know if you personally, because we talking about the friend thing. Now, like I said, I've been in a situation, I stopped being friends with people who were low key showed jealous signs, only because it could be where so I'm not in competition with my friends. And then, some people try to low key compete with you, like to try to either, whether it's dress better, everything, it seems like they try to outdo you. You know what I mean? And it's not even that deep. And sometimes I don't like to feel like I gotta compete with my friends. And then it becomes when you do something, or you have like good news, or like I said, have a happy moment in your life, it's like they're like, how long that's gonna last? That's always something negative when you got something positive going on.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
So, like, have you ever seen, or how do you feel about in a friendship? I've experienced it before. In the past, I've not been friends with people where so it always seemed like you're in a competition, or their friend is always trying to compete with you, or let's just say you got a new job, right? And then your friend is like, I wouldn't have took that job, or because it could be a job better than theirs, or something like that, or they could just be going through, I say, a tough time. But things for you may be looking up, so they want to find a negative in anything that makes you happy, and you could be like really excited, and they'd be like, "Why would you do that when I wouldn't do that if I was you?"
I have a coworker who copies everything that I do.
So,
and I don't know if he's trying to compete against me or not. I'll dye my hair. She'll dye her hair. I'll talk about a piercing. She'll get the piercing. I'll talk about a tattoo. And I'll be confused.
That's the stuff.
It's very confusing and toxic, and I just feel like she part of me feel like she needs a friend, but part of me feel like trying to, I don't know honestly, I don't know exactly what she's trying to do, because I tried to look for a new job, and then she started looking at the same jobs I was looking at.
Are you serious?
No, yeah. I don't
Now,
know.
I've had somebody that tried to be my friend do that, to the point we had went out, and the time that made me forget about, you threw me off just now. Okay. So it was the time that made me end the friendship was, we went out, right? So we went shopping. I was like, okay, let's go get an outfit, whatever. We went shopping, went to get the outfit. I picked out an outfit, she picked out an outfit. I helped her work. I'm like, oh, that's cute. You know how you do when you go shopping. So we went out, had a nice time. And I had noticed certain things, like even to certain, how I make up words sometimes. So she started talking like me, doing different things. So she had went out on a date with her friend, like I think a couple days later. So she sent me a picture and was like, what do you think when I tell you everything down to the wig was identical? That was scary for me, because I was like, why would you go get the exact same thing? That's not even you. Everybody got their own little style, their own little thing that they do. When I saw that, I said, oh no, this somebody that will probably do something to me. And I haven't talked to that child. I ain't talked to that lady since then.
Sometimes people cling on to you and take on habits that are not their own to feel comfortable enough to be around you.
That's weird, though.
I
would rather for you, if I'm your friend, I want you to. Yeah, but I want you to be. But when it gets weird, when people start to mimic you, but then when you talked about the workplace.
Yeah, it's a very complicated topic as far as friendship and jealousy, and
I think sometimes friends don't understand they be jealous, but they low key are really jealous, and they make excuses that make you feel bad for it, or they just go out their way to try to make they don't realize they're being a negative Nancy in the process. Just the same way, like at work. I think we all probably experience jealousy at work. Tajah talked about it. Backhanded compliments. I think I'm low key going through that now.
I think you are too. I was honestly, the whole time I was thinking that, like, that's definitely you right now. Even down to what Nicole was talking about with like her coworker that copies everything that she do. Even down to that, man, you definitely going through that. I'm sorry.
I don't do nothing special though.
I mean, it's terrible in a way that someone's copying you, but at the same time, it's a way to make yourself better. Like, they want to be you, and they already trying to reach your level. Then how can you take it up a notch, or how can you guide them to be a better version of themselves instead of, mimicking you?
And see, usually, and when people do something that's unique to me, I always compliment that, because I feel like everybody has that one thing that makes them different. My thing is hold on to that and make that you. But when it comes to when you talk about jealousy in a workplace, that's a whole nother type of jealousy. I think it gets spiteful. They'll try to sabotage you and then let you mess up. Because we said jealousy is low-key envy. It's broadcasted. It's it's not the end of the world. Okay, we gonna fix it. But then some people will go out their way to try to make you look bad. Or it's like they gloat when you mess up. Or you could say, instead of saying it, you could be like, all right. And they're like, see, I told you. And it's like, what? What are you talking about? And it's kind of like when people get like that, it's like I try to distance myself from that, because it's like they trying to set you up. I look at it like when people get jealous of you, they try to cost you your livelihood. When it comes to work, and they try to get your ideas out of you to try to, it's a lot. You got to be real careful when people, especially in a workplace, I think it's a little bit more dangerous.
Yeah.
When people are jealous of you at work, because they play a different ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Are you seniority at your job? Are you seniority? Like, have you been there longer than the other person?
Nope.
I'm sorry?
Nope. Not at all.
And that's so sad.
That's the weird thing. And it's kind of like, I think certain things, I think sometimes jealousy can come from intimidation, or people just, like I said, some people just don't want to see anybody do better than them, or they start to feel threatened, right? And then if we had the conversation and you say, hey, this is not why I'm here, this is not what I'm doing, and you try to really help the person like be better by giving ideas, by helping on projects, and then they try to take that and still use it against you in a way. You know, you can give an idea of, like, let's say if it's a project and you working on something, and you may say, hey, that's good, but try this, you know, when you present it, and it'll be da-da-da-da-da. I did it. And it's like, no matter what happens, they will take that idea as if it was theirs and try to use it against you to try to dumb you down. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. But you know, it's different steps. Or if you ask a question, they'll purposely give you the wrong answer so that you can look bad.
Yeah. So jealousy has a whole bunch of subtitles that could play to itself. And I just look at it as, okay, you either see something in me that is better than you, so I'm going to myself, and I'm gonna take it up a notch and see if you can put your feet in my shoes, because I'm more professional, more hardworking, and you know, I see myself for who I am, and I don't see myself for them. So if they think they see something in me, then I must see something, you know.
Very true. Very true.
I like
and
that.
Kind of like, but it's true. But you know, I'm the type of person, I say it, and then I stop when I don't say stuff. It's like when you quiet, you still, it's like everything. Yeah, who me? You said what?
What's your zodiac?
Oh, I'm a whole Gemini.
Okay. So I can see how your personality can be. Yep, I see. Okay.
I have a very strong personality.
Yeah,
I do. But I also feel like when people wouldn't automatically know off the break, I'm easy to get along with, but I'm big on vibes. And I'm not just one of them people that's just gonna come in being mean and, you know, all of that. I'm not that type of person, but I will help and do anything that I can, even in the midst of it all. I'm still gonna help and play my part, play my position, do what I have to do. But my whole thing is, if it's a matter of you thinking I'm coming for something, I'm not, because I'm seeking something different. You know what I mean? Yeah. But my thing is, if I was coming for you, I wouldn't try to help you. I wouldn't try to do certain things to help you out. That's my thing. I like to motivate and see people go further. So I'm like, if you're doing this, take it the next step, further and do X, Y, and Z. And then it'll be the compliment in your face, but the trash talking, behind your back. And you know how it all comes, which is fine. Because I look at it like, as long as you're talking, I'm doing something right. It's when you stop that I need to switch it up and do something different. But when you start trying to sabotage, cost people their jobs, and do different things, that's a whole nother level. And that's why I said that's when it gets dangerous, especially in the world that we live in. You can't play with people like that. And you have some people, just because they're jealous and envious of you, they want to play games with your livelihood. You can't do that. Wait a minute, you breaking up?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was shifting. But like when people play with your job, you have to professionally present it. And I just cross my T's and dot my I's. I have a new coworker working with me, and she just gives off the amazing energy. And she wants me. Her vibe brings me to want to be a better person.
Oh. Look, I'm nosy. Who is it?
It's Tajah.
Oh, okay. Y'all work together. I knew I'm trying to catch the voice. Okay, well, that's good to know.
Oh, this was special.
Ever since she started working with us, and she just gave off that vibe. I know I gave off a negative vibe. She felt that, so she faces back until the next day, and then I was like, "I'm sorry, I wasn't in the mood." And she was like, "I felt that," and I was like, "Oh, yeah."
But everybody had their days. But that doesn't mean you have to. That's what I said. When I look at jealousy, is dangerous because it's also a form of like resentment. And also some people, jealousy can fuel people to be angry. Mm-hmm. So even if you having a bad day, and I say everybody's entitled to a day, an hour. You can have several days, several weeks, but you got to take accountability for that though too. Like if I'm having a bad day and somebody say, "Look, you was acting like a real bitch today," and I might be like, "I probably was." Now you done opened up the door for me to either say, "I meant to be one to you because I don't like you like that," or you allowing me to say, "That wasn't even for you. I apologize." And usually with me, it's not like that. Usually people know if I don't really care for them or not. And it's very rare that I don't care for people. Huh?
Oh, the very next day I went up to her and I was like, I apologize. That wasn't for you. And I went up to her and I told her it wasn't, a good day and I'm not that type of person. And she was like, "Oh, I know. Everyone talks kindly of you." And I'm like, "Oh." Yeah.
Like that day first time I ever saw her, the day before I had worked and she wasn't there. So everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, Nicole, you got to meet her. She can do this, this, and this." And I feel like y'all two would get so along and all this and the third. And then when I saw her and I looked at her face, I said, I said, "What is going on with her today?" I said, "I'm going to just say hi and then we could try this again another day." Because I was like, all of that is not working for me. That's how I was in my head. And then the next day,
so jealousy, I wasn't necessarily like, I was jealous of her positivity and her energy. And I was like, how can I get that positive energy and, self-well-being to myself? And that's when, we became very close friends. And I take her energy, she take my energy, and vice versa. And we just, go off each other. And that created a jealousy within myself to become a better me.
See, I don't think that was jealousy though. I think that you just needed that energy to transfer over. Because sometimes when you're in a space, especially at work, the energy of the environment can protrude into you. It can consume. You can consume that energy. So sometimes when they say what you surround yourself with is what you become. Mm-hmm. And your energy is something that you have to protect at all times, including at work. Even if that means you have to, sometimes you got to self-isolate a little bit. I'm not saying completely, especially working, we work with patients, we work with the public. You don't have to do that with people. But when you get around positive people and you continue to be around that, you consume that positive energy. So that was probably that. Sometimes, what is it? Not fate. Is it fate? When two people meet for like y'all probably met for a reason. And that probably what it was for you to get that energy to see, okay, You don't have to be like that. And it's refreshing to be positive or to have something when you just angry, negative, or around negative energy all the time is draining.
I'm not gonna lie, where we work at, as soon as you walk in, you can tell like it's just a bunch of jealousy between a bunch of people. You can automatically just feel it. Like it's all the way there. Like my favorite saying at work is "I'm just here," because they will walk up to you and just be like, "Guess what this person just did?" And I'd be like, "I don't even know. I'm just rooming patience. Like, I'm just here."
We're not gonna say that no more because I say the same thing. I'd be like, they be like, how you feeling? Like, girl, I made it. We here. We lit. But sometimes that's how it is.
Are you sending her patient? Like I'm just here. Did you check your computer? When they be like, are you rooming this patient? Are you rooming that patient? I was like, I'm just here. Did you check the screen? It looked like visit in progress in room 7.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
A whole mood.
A whole mood.
Do you think of when people are jealous of you, like whether it's work and in friendships, that they tend to spread a gossip and lies about you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Almost. I think they feel like if they can spread gossip about you, it'll kind of spread light on themselves in a sense, like make them look better. Like it's like they're trying to down you so that they can look better in no sense. But they don't. So like other people don't realize like, oh, you talking about this person, but they don't realize that that's wrong for them to talk about that person. Like they just think they out here just giving out good information.
Right.
Intentionally or unintentionally?
I think they do it.
I
think it's intentionally. If you jealous of somebody and you don't even like have a sense, especially like if you don't have a sense of like who they are, you never really like talk to them or anything like that, then yeah, it's definitely intentional.
I think in the workplace, I think it is. I think sometimes in friendships though, I think some friends are unknowingly jealous and unknowingly become spiteful. Sometimes I think they're not aware all the time. But I think sometimes they are, sometimes it's like,
Yeah.
But then I learned as I got older, if my friend's going through something and I'm like truly, truly happy, I shouldn't have to, but I don't talk about it much. It's spiritual too. Like I don't, because sometimes I don't want, when people already feel bad and then you're like, yay! And you hooting and hollering, you like the little pig hanging out the window, yay! With the little thing. And if they going through something, sometimes people just they're not ready or they're not in a headspace to celebrate with you.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it can seem like you rubbing it in sometimes, and that's another reason why I said I think you got to know your friendship circle, and your work circle.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you can't confuse it. But when it comes to the work, I'm the older I get, I learn I keep a distance. I keep a certain boundary line, especially when it comes to that, because I'm one of the type people, I feel like everybody can evolve, be great, be excellent, no matter what. I don't even have to like you to want to see you win. Mm-hmm. But when I see you trying to take me to a place and you trying to belittle me professionally, that's a problem for me.
Right.
That makes me turn my professionalism up 10 times because I already know what I'm gonna bring.
I've had that.
Also bring professionally hood.
That part.
You speak professionally hood.
Explain that for the people who don't know. Because I don't know where you because she got professionally hood down pat.
I'm about to say that's the first person I thought of was you and her. That's the sad part.
So there's a place in the workplace where you have the people who let stuff slide and the people who just, take notes, and then the people who say something. So get into that situation, then you have to, how should I word this? And then repeat it. Yeah, you got to repeat it back to yourself. You don't want to say the wrong word. You don't want them to feel like they're in a hostile environment. That fun word. What's that word? When they're doing something on your character.
Oh yeah, like your workplace character, your demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they be like, oh, you're working with this provider, so they need X, Y, and Z, and this, that, and the third. What room are they in? And then I'll just look in my computer and I'll be like, oh, they're in room 6. And he's like, can you let them know? I said, when they finish their exam, I could inform them of what you told me, or I'll let you know when they get out.
Right.
He's like, you don't want to knock on the door? And I'm like, you can knock on the door, but I'm not interrupting their exam.
So at that point, do you think it's more culture? Because I think sometimes different backgrounds, different cultures have a way of talking. And I think we run into this a lot too. Sometimes I think I can, like, for instance, if they say, hey, has anybody seen X, Y, and Z? And us, we normally be like, no. Or we could say, did you, refresh your screen? You'll coming out here asking the wrong question. We're not technically getting smart. It's kind of like, hey, you can refresh your screen if you want to know if they're here or not. Or if they run late, we could tell you. That could be taken as being aggressive. Right. Whereas though another culture may be like, oh no, they're not here, but hey, but what you could do, but depending on who's saying it, it could be taken the wrong way.
I feel like
a different way.
The ghetto, like you gotta know the right words to say and when to say them.
It could be the same thing. It depends on who's delivering the message. Is what I think. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. If you say, hello, good morning, okay, have a good day, somebody can be like, that's a little strong. But let somebody else say it. Hey, have a good day. Be safe, go home. Oh, wow, thank you. You too. You're like, what's the difference?
Right.
Yeah. I experienced that today when I told you about my patient not room in room 12. It's privilege.
6 and 12 must not be good words. Because that number, I'm going to play that number.
Yeah.
6 and 12.
So some people are privileged, but that was like, they talk a certain way to you. When the provider of privilege come into the room, they talk a different way.
Completely.
What you mean?
Like their tone and like their
demeanor will change. Like their tone and demeanor would change. So like they could be like looking at you a certain way when you say certain things.
Rich said white. See, Rich, don't say that because we all can. When Rich said the white voice.
Yep, exactly. Got that on quick.
Yeah, and that's crazy to me because if I talk a certain way, that's what people say. Oh, you go ahead and call this particular person because you know how you do. And I'm like, what? They like the white. It's no such thing. I feel like in certain environments you speak a certain way. Like I'm not going to go to work and be like, hey, yo, your appointment today. Make sure you know what I'm saying? Make sure you're here. No, I'm going to call, hey, good morning, and I'm going to go into it.
Exactly.
And I don't get it. And then some people just have that voice. Like Tajah. They don't know they might see me and be like, okay, they might think my kid's going to be Rachel. And then when they see her, and they're like, well, where'd she get that from? And I'm like, excuse you. And then she like, mom.
Mother.
Right. See how different that is?
and then next thing you know, they say something else, and then Tajah be like, "Excuse me," and then
First of all, yes.
I mean, everybody has that professional persona when in the workplace or outside the workplace because they perceive, people of color act a certain way. But I'm way off topic at this point.
Oh no, we do that over here. We go off topic, one topic, then we get right back to it.
Honestly, I realized it today that I had that voice. I realized it really today. Like it really hit me that I had that voice because I was literally in the hallway and I was talking to my patient. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, yeah, we're gonna go to room blah 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 blah, and I was just going, and then I think I had saw Nicole, and then I was just like, yeah, because and then I went right back to the voice.
Oh, so we're gonna
that hit me.
We're gonna get right back into this, but we need to take a quick break, like 5-minute break. Welcome back to the Kazual Konvo show with me, Coco. And my co-host Tajah.
Yeah.
We're talking about jealousy. Is Nicole still here? Or she gone?
Where's she
oh
going?
Lord, Jude on and welcome Jude. I didn't talk. I don't know why I did that. Jude. Is Nicole still here?
Hi y'all.
Hey. What?
Hi y'all. Hey Jude.
Yeah. You see, look, all I can do is shake my head because I know she get ready to say something.
Wait a minute, I ain't talked to Jude in so long. How you doing?
I know she about to say something.
No, I'm behave. I just forgot what I was going to say if I was jamming to the music.
Oh, we was talking about. I know what I wanted to touch on before I got into the relationship one. We was talking about professionalism in the workplace. So Nicole has said, okay, Nicole here too. So Nicole was talking about, how coworkers try to mimic and how they're very unprofessional, and how sometimes when we say things as opposed to how somebody else may say things, it could be taken the wrong way. So what I said, maybe it depends on the person that's delivering the message as to how it was taken, because we've experienced it where as though you could say good morning and they like, mm-hmm. But then somebody else can be like, hi, good morning. And they're like, oh, okay, hi, how are you? The same, you know what I mean? Who said
yeah.
That? Okay. So
yeah,
what was
yeah. I'm come to realize that it really just depends on. It starting to depend on how we take it in now, because just people be moody. I feel like the environment itself can just make everybody move. Like one thing can just be like a domino effect, and it can affect the whole mood. Because sometimes all right, I can come into work, I can be having a great day, but then one person mood can just ruin everybody's mood for the rest of the day, or one thing can ruin everybody's mood for the rest of the day. But when you was saying about isolate yourself, and
just
jealousy.
Have you experienced jealousy in the workplace, friend?
I mean, I wouldn't consider it in the workplace jealousy because I don't care about the jealousy part. It's like hateration. And I know that. But listen, if it is jealousy, I don't care that it's jealousy. Because you really not supposed to be jealous of nobody. That's the thing. All right, people do be jealous of people, but I don't be caring if you're jealous. If you're jealous of me, that's shame on you. Because if it's whatever it is about me that you're jealous of, all you got to do is, like Nicole was saying, work better at yourself to be just as good as what I'm doing instead of being jealous of what I'm doing and making a fool out of you because you're making yourself like a fool out of me. Another thing I do agree with what you were saying earlier was when you realize somebody is jealous of you, just step your game up. It makes the person that's jealous of you a little more mad and a little more jealous, but oh wow. I mean, be jealous. Be very freaking jealous. As long as I'm not the person that's jealous, I really, don't care. But
I felt that.
Yeah, professionally checking the person. Because I like we always like, do you like who professional man? What? Let me tell you, I will professionally check a person in a minute. And my employer taught me that. You know why? Let me tell you why. Because my boss, a former people manager, thought that, she was going to get over on me. So she sent me to all these classes that pretty much made me better. They taught you how to get smart with, talk to management. And management is nothing but, talk to you in a more professional way of getting smart, inside them, saying like, I'll punch you in the face right now. They, say, different stuff. I haven't mastered that, but I still say that. But, they figure out a better way to say it. But they taught me how to, like, go to class and, like, debrief. Yeah, they teach you how to go through things, like how, like, you just utilize the employee. And then, when they send you to, like, class for stuff that, they need to go for, you just tell them they should go too. Just freedom of speech. You live in America. Don't let your employee get over you. Get over it now.
All right, let me ask you a question. Do you think in the work, because before we get off the workplace, because I asked Brittany, when it comes to either in friendships or in the work, like your business, the professional relationship, when people are jealous of you, because we mentioned how they like to see you make mistakes, but when it comes to spreading gossip or trying to sabotage you as far as your work or just excelling in your life, do you think they try to sabotage you or just hate to see you get ahead?
Yeah. And it's sad because I don't understand why in the work field, I can't speak for the men, but like it's mostly amongst like a woman against a woman. It may have been male, whatever, but I've only had experience that against other like superior women. And it's like once you get ahead, it's like I don't understand why you try to stop another female from getting ahead. It's nothing wrong with, not knowing. If you don't know or, somebody underneath you know something that you don't know, I mean, instead of dictating the wrong stuff or not listening or not trying to learn yourself, like kind of like just sit back and observe, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what's the problem with like Black women in power. I'm gonna say it. Black women in power. You get a little power, like you tend to start looking down at the other women, Black women beneath you, or start treating people different. Like I've experienced like in my current job now. Yeah, I got some stuff, but I've experienced worse than that. It's like little knickknacks here now, but I've experienced like actually like not getting a supervisor position because another woman didn't like the way I did my job, but she forgot that at one point in time she was in the same position I was, and I actually walked away from that job because of that. Made a move that like I kind of loved at the time, but regretted later on. Like kind of, but you gotta know when to take stands for yourself in situations like that too. Like if you in a position where you're not like there's nowhere for you to grow, or you're not going to grow, or you're going to keep hitting them roadblocks, and you gotta know when to stop fighting and just walk away too. Mm-hmm. Don't fight for a position. Don't keep fighting for something that you're not going to get in general, because then you starting to make yourself jealous and mad and angry and creating a toxic environment because you really don't want to be somewhere that you want to be. I think that also plays part in it too. When you're dealing with like the jealousy and the toxicity and all that stuff at work. That's right.
Yeah, that's true. That's where I'm at now because I don't want to protrude into all of this greatness that I got going on. So I'm trying to leave.
Yeah, see, I wasn't always this person. The old me was, nothing if you buck. But I've been on my job for a couple of years, and I'm just learning, like a couple of days ago, how to conduct myself in a more professional manner for real. Because I wasn't always like that, like for real. Like I was the one, like if you said something to me, we was most definitely gonna go back and forth. Like I really didn't care. Like I was the most like stand your ground kind of. But as gradually over the years, I learned how to get to the person I am now, and like even still, like to this day, I'm still learning how to pick my battles when it comes to work. However,
It's hard.
Certain things are different.
Because
It
there
don't
be
have
many
to be.
days I be like, no, don't send that one. Don't change that word. Why? That's what I want to say. And I be like, no, don't start it off well. First of all, well, and I'm like, no, don't say that. We gotta revise it, G. We gotta revise it. Don't send it out that way. And she like, oh, because I was going to send it.
Professionally hurt, most definitely, because I most definitely don't know how to. I don't know how to. You know, if you say certain things to me, if I read it and I feel like, you know, I'm gonna have to get somebody to proofread what I'm ready to send, because it might come off like, first of all, that's not what I said. Second of all, and I gotta remember I'm at work real quick. But for the most part, I have learned that if you,
but I think, yeah, you should have those friends at work. I think that's the good thing. We bump heads. Don't get me wrong. We might bump heads, but at the same time, I think we're good for bringing each other back when we get ready to go to that place of twohood.
But to deal with jealousy at work,
yeah,
I'm gonna say this. I don't feel like how I feel like I'm dealing with jealousy at the. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like I don't. I don't deal with jealousy at work. If I feel you know somebody, huh?
And I mentioned
I kind of, because I'm very vocal. Like if I feel as, because I don't take it as jealousy, I just take it as, you know, and it depends on what situation I'm dealing with. I'm not just talking about like directly, like it depends on, because I just feel like is it jealousy? Maybe I don't see it. Is it jealousy?
You don't.
Actually,
no, it's
give me a drink.
Because we can hold me.
Oh no. The caller.
Oh, you said her age?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, she said you're 35. I think
okay, that's maturity.
Yeah. Not only that, but I think sometimes some people can identify. Some people automatically seem. That's why we're talking about it like now, because like we said, jealousy can be in a form of resentment, hate. You know, somebody just not wanting to see certain things. We always socialize jealousy with, oh, they just jealous of how I look. It's not always about what you look, your intelligence, what you bring to the table, how you carry yourself, how you sometimes how you look. We always talk about looking professional, speaking professional, doing all of these things in a workplace. Some people think they exude that, but they don't. So when you come in and how you carry yourself and how you can identify situations, resolve situations, handle conflict, handle certain things, how likable you are. Some people can envy that to a point where as though it's jealousy. So sometimes we don't always just look for it. Sometimes it may take somebody else to say, you know, they jealous of you, right? And you be like, I don't know for what? Because we don't see it where as though we just being who you are. That's just you. It's either love or hate, but you have some people, huh?
But I feel like we the ones who's winning, because I don't want to notice that you're jealous. I don't care if you're jealous of me or not. In my opinion, I mean, you can be as jealous as you want to be. I don't care if you're jealous. You just don't interfere with. Now, you can be jealous. Just don't interfere with what I'm doing. Now, hating.
That's what we're talking about. But
different.
It starts
but wait a minute. But now, yeah, but I feel like when you it's hate, like, all right, being jealous of me, I don't care about that. But now you hating on what I'm doing is something different. Because your jealousy of me can't stop my flow, but your hatred towards me. Because I mean, you can be jealous of anybody, but here I have kind of more than jealousy to kind of actually want like to interfere with somebody.
Livelihood,
livelihood, flow. Like it's more than jealousy there. And now I feel sorry for you then if you that miserable with yourself that you don't like me enough. It ain't about this. You're playing with my job. You don't like me. You ain't jealous of me. You just flat out don't like me, in my opinion. What are you jealous of? You really don't know me outside of work.
Yeah, but that jealousy, but see, some people, they don't even have to know
What are you
who
jealous
you are.
of? We coworkers.
People don't even know, but that's what I'm saying. Jealousy drives hate. And, we see it a lot. Even in our just everyday lives, you see somebody who don't know nobody personally. You see it online too. They could just see somebody like, I can't stand. And it's the jealousy. It started with the jealousy that started to build that resentment, that anger, that hate. Whereas though you want to see that person fail, you want to try to sabotage that person so that they can fail and not excel. So you can see that, just a person getting pleasure when you make a mistake. You get what I'm saying? Instead of just saying, okay, hey, and just bringing it to your attention, it got to be known, it got to be exaggerated. Now it's like they got to pinpoint and nitpick every little thing because they are so envious of everything you got going on. And that's what I said, it's great when you don't see it, but see, some people, sometimes we don't see it. And I even said it earlier. I've been in situations where I didn't know, or I didn't see what was going on around me. That's why I said that people on the outside looking in can see some things that you don't see. But we definitely deal with it. How you handle it is a whole nother situation. But when it comes to in the workplace, like I said, it's more dangerous because now you messing with my job, you messing with my livelihood, how I take care of my family, how I do all these other things. You can't do that. And that's why I said jealousy is something that can turn people to be very malicious.
Very
and some
much
people
so.
are tactful with their maliciousness, especially at work, and especially if they think they got power or got some type of ranking. When Nicole asked about seniority, people take their positions and try to use it against you just because they envious of you or jealous of you, and that's a dangerous game to play with people. That's when you really
I live by the code that everybody got a boss unless you're your own boss. And everybody got to answer to somebody. I'm a challenger. I respectfully try to challenge, anything that I feel as though is, not right. Number one, also live by the code why I don't care how much we friends outside of work. At work, we co-workers. I mean, we cool. I'm not saying I don't. I'm not your friend. Just at work, we co-workers. So I'm messing up. You let me know if you messing up. I get all that. But me personally, I guess is how I deal with jealousy at work. Because I completely know what and where we talking. How I deal with jealousy is head on. I'm not going to acknowledge it, as you can see, because I'm not going to acknowledge that I even consider your jealousy as jealousy, because you don't have a reason to be jealous of me. If you want to do what I do, fine, do it. You think you can do a better job, then do it. I mean, I'm all for proving points, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to stop being me because you're jealous of what I'm doing. And I also would take that, as you also know me, as a teaching experience. I teach you something before I let you keep making me look like boo-boo the fool.
exactly.
But hey, if a person want to be jealous, I feel like let them be jealous at work, at home. Oh, another thing y'all was saying, friends. I thought about something. I've never considered somebody a friend that I can honestly say right now at this moment, like, yeah, that person was jealous of me. Like a friend, like bro, an associate, yeah. But a person, like even people that I don't even deal with no more. I don't think I have like a person that like I would consider a friend that I would say like, yeah, that person was jealous of me. Just because a person don't support, I don't necessarily feel as though they, jealous. They might don't like what I do, or they might not be into what I'm into. The jealousy thing. If you're jealous of me, I will not. I don't want to consider you as a friend. And the moment that I even feel like that's a thing where I feel like it's a jealousy thing between me and a person I consider as a friend, I'm not considering that person as a friend. I just wanted to say that real quick. It doesn't really make no point. You know why it didn't make the point, but it made a point, I think.
But what if the person that is jealous of you looks up to you?
Yeah. That's that
That's
backhanded. That's
it.
the jealousy. That's that disguised jealousy, because some people can envy you in a way. That's why I said some people are jealous and don't understand it, and some people don't quite see it all the time. So I've been in positions where I've befriended people, genuinely, and it turned out that way. And sometimes it's like I said, it could be a situation where as though everything could be going great. You might have just been on your even. You get what I mean? But soon as things look up for you, it's like I don't know. And to bounce back off of what you said, I get the support thing, but I think for me, it's even when you can't even be happy for me, genuinely, it's that fake happiness. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, oh, you doing your thing instead of saying, dang, oh, you doing your thing. It's like, huh, you sure you want to keep, it's always a negative with that backhanded compliment type thing. You get what I mean? Don't do that with me.
It's always they turn around and do the same thing. Hate is really
love in disguise. Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. But real quick, I'm gonna throw this one in there too, but we can still piggyback off of it because I don't want to miss it. So, because I know most people can identify strongly with jealousy in relationships as opposed to like personal, like friendships and work stuff. And I think that's why it don't necessarily, when you think of jealousy, people think of like, those type of things. Jealousy in a relationship. Have you ever been with somebody that was jealous of, like, let's just say like you? Some people be in relationships ways though their partner can't stand their friends, can't stand how likable they are. You know what I mean? Like those things.
Oh, I did. I was in a relationship with a person who was jealous of me. And it ruined that relationship all over a drink at the bar.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I went out with me and the ex. The last guy was like, hey, he made me get you guys up for lunch. Hey, shout out to him. Shout out to the last man of my life. He was jealous, very jealous. We went out to a party that he invited me to, and he did not introduce me to anybody at the party. However, I looked really nice this night. I mean, you're supposed to when nice looking young lady supposed to look nice. Well, I got hit on by the birthday boy, which was his cousin, and a few other people, and he was jealous. Instead of him introducing me to people, he got mad. Oh, we're dancing on the dance floor, in the middle of the dance floor, you still mad, He noticed always, I'm dancing with you, I'm so fixated on you. You noticing a guy all the way across the room noticing me, so you leave me in the middle of the dance floor for the guy to walk over to say something to me. You come over and let me know that you noticed him while I was dancing, noticing you. From that night on, me and him went out. Anytime we went out, it was I bet I can pull more people or get more people to you, and the relationship was over from there. Like, I swear to God, that's the first time I ever dealt with that. That's the last time I ever dealt with that. Yeah, people crazy. Like, for real. Yeah, all over, looking good. We both were a really good couple. I mean, we used to go out together and, like, everybody used to compliment us. We were a really, like, well put together couple together. However, this motherfucker was jealous. What people didn't know was that he hated the way I looked just as good as him going out.
So he wants you to look bad?
I don't know, the motherfucker used to buy like motherfucker shit for me to put on. But the thing is, like, yeah, I haven't experienced that. Y'all haven't experienced the sense, because if you admire me. Don't hate on me. I'm look good with you. I'm the fuck with you. If motherfucker buy me a drink, they're gonna buy you a drink too. You about to believe the shit. I swear to God. But whatever.
Would y'all consider yourself jealous? Like jealous, since it's all women on the phone, would you all consider yourself like jealous girlfriends? And if you're in a relationship, are you a jealous person or somewhat jealous, or nope, not at all?
Somewhat jealous.
Somewhat.
What?
She said what?
Well, my dude is.
I'm sorry, if I'm your girlfriend and you cheat on me, you stupid. Because, that's just like, I ain't the best, but The fuck? Don't cheat on me, you stupid.
Jealousy is a whole
Go be
other
mad at
topic
me,
as
you
far as
right.
relationships go.
Blame it,
Because
So,
jealousy
what? I
in
wish I
relationships
would.
is different. Like
Say
you
that
can be
again, Nicole.
jealous because that person's getting attention. You can be jealous because, you know, me personally, my dude's funny. Funny. So he can make anybody laugh. So when he tells a joke and she decides to laugh, I laugh with her. Even though I heard the joke. But I make sure I bring my laugh a little louder.
I used to be. I used to be. A couple years ago, let me be out and he crack a joke and he wait. Why is what's she laughing for? Because we was not talking to her. But I think now I think when it comes to jealousy, it's also a level of insecurity. Somewhere. I only say that because sometimes when people get jealousy, they usually have some trust factors that play a part. What?
Can you rate yourself on that scale? We all said what we think. You didn't say nothing.
I did.
I didn't get that.
Please, I ain't jealous. Let me tell y'all. Wait, hold on.
No, I used to be. I don't think I'm jealous. I'm a little bit more. Huh?
Not even somewhat. Not even somewhat.
Well, technically, I haven't been in a situation where I thought I was jealous because I feel like I said again, at one point I know I was, but I was also insecure in a lot of ways. Even though I have insecurities now, I'm secure within myself that I know where my heart is and I know I'm lovable. And I know if I love hard and I'm gonna go all out for the person that I'm with, but it has to be reciprocated. I know my value. There's a difference. So if it's nothing nobody can do to make me jealous. Oh, you want that? Go ahead. Because I'm gonna get something better. Ooh. I don't downgrade. I'm gonna always upgrade. Now with you, on the other hand, I don't know what you about to do. You get what I mean at the end of the day. And I think that's where Drew come from, where she's saying, I don't care. You know what I mean? But because it's your loss.
Right, because I know that's all right now.
I feel like if you do anything to jeopardize what we got going on and you can't compromise and do all of these other things, you're not worth being a part of my life. That's where I'm at now. Before, I would try to adjust and change with you. Now, I'm not proving myself to nobody. We're going to prove ourselves to each other, or I can go ahead about my business. But I'm not in the business of wasting my time or wasting nobody else's. But you got to pick up on signs of jealousy too. When you start questioning everything, that's you're a jealous person. One, that's like if you say, hey, let me call you right back. Why you gotta call me back? I'm gonna call you right back. Can I go pee real quick? It could be something like that. I might not want to say it, go bathroom, but just let me call you back. All right. And then let's say you don't call back in 2 minutes. I'm just saying this how I be going. Then you don't call back in 2 minutes. You might call back the next day. You must have been in the bathroom a long time. You like, dang, I couldn't get tied up. I couldn't have took a phone call. I couldn't have did, and life happens. And I think some people don't understand. They jealous when they do that, and it can be uncomfortable. And sometimes, me personally, I don't like being questioned because I don't question people. Because I look like this. You're going to do what you want to do, whether I question you or not.
But see, when we talking jealousy, when you're dealing with a person, and this is the thing. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I done already been there, done that. I'm not dealing with, and it's not because I've been there, done that, because I wouldn't have done it that time either. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not dealing with nobody because when that shit happened, I didn't want to stop dealing with it. Mm-hmm. Why are you jealous of me? I'm with you. Yep. If you want time, ask for it. Like, you feel me? Like, if you want my attention, I'm gonna give it to you. Like, I it's just like you just gotta pull your weight and giving give to each other, whatever. Like, if I want something from you, I'm gonna show you what I want by treating you the ways that I want to be treated and the ways that you want to be treated, so you can reciprocate it. Now, if I ain't getting that back, I'm not gonna give it to you. And we gotta normalize in the relationship instead of just being unhappy with, like, in the first 6 months, the red flag signs, not just getting comfortable. before you have long term, and then you end up with a jealous person. Don't end up like 5 years down the line with somebody who you already knew you ain't want to be with because you already didn't like stuff. Like, you know, like,
well, at that point,
like
you
that,
guys
they
need
make
to
more
know
money
your
than
love
you.
language.
Say it again,
At that point,
Nicole.
you need to know your love
That
language.
too.
That
Like,
and
if your love
but
language
a
don't
lot of people don't
reciprocate,
know their love language.
they have a quiz for that.
They do.
But you know what? Some people good at cheating. Some people good at cheating on tests and on quizzes. So I think
Now, if you want to be that positive person and want to be honest and find your true love, your real love, or someone you can reciprocate. Thank you. I got time. Like, I'm affectionate, and for me, I like to cuddle, and I like to spend time. So if you cuddle, spend time with me, like, there's no need for me to be jealous.
Hello?
There's no need for me to be insecure. But if you recognize my love language and how I perceive love, then there should be no argument,
Jealousy.
no negativity.
Like, why are you jealous?
Like
I
you don't
think some
feel
people
jealous.
just have trust issues. I do think it mostly being about trust. Some people are jealous due to insecurities. But I also think some people have to be knowledgeable of themselves, of that they have these issues, and understand that they have that jealous trait. And then some people, because of their issues with being jealous, they become controlling and not knowing it. And like I said, I don't think some people don't even understand their jealousy or their levels of jealousy. And it gets bad.
So am I mean? Because I'm just at the point where if you're jealous of me, I just don't even want to deal with you. I don't even want to understand what your issue is, because I don't have it in me to be jealous of anybody. You feel me? I may not like something that you do. I may not agree, but to actually like spend the energy, this good old energy, and being jealous of something that you did. If I want to be on that level or do what you did, I just gotta apply myself and grind to do it. But why am I going to be jealous because you did something that I didn't do, or that you know something that I don't know? I mean, everything is out here for all of us to, you know. And I'm not saying that people don't be. I'm just speaking on me. Like, I can't, you know, I don't want to surround myself with those kind of people. And if you are a friend of mine, you know, and you know, because this conversation, you got me thinking like, well, which one's my friend? Who's jealous to fuck around me? Because I'm like, cut. Because I don't have it in me to be jealous of anybody. I mean, I don't have to like people.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it jealousy of anybody, but if you find your positive space and your zen and your energy, you can present that off, as well as your love language. So you as a person, you can find out more about yourself before you jump into the relationship and then think of jealousy. But jealousy is not always a negative thing. Jealousy can be also a positive thing. Like I told Tajah, she came into my life and she presented this positivity that I was like, damn, she's younger than me. What can I learn from her that can make me better? And I was just jealous of that concept. I wasn't jealous of her as a person, but her concept, because we represent the same story. So if you can find out more about yourself and self-worth and more self-care, maybe you can find, you know, you as a person before you present to another person, and then that jealousy won't necessarily be there. It could just be like,
that's true.
Like, but, I'm gonna hang out with, like, I'm gonna hang out with my friends. Okay, see you later. Will you be home by this time? Because, you know.
Right. But I think those are things that, but both people have to be open to that. And I think that's the issue. You can't be a person with a bunch of issues coming in the door, and you that's guarded, so to speak. And sometimes people who are guarded, they have some jealousy traits. You get what I'm saying? So even like what you're saying, you were open with Tajah with knowing, okay, listen, I want that. You get what I mean? I need that positivity. So you were already open of accepting that, okay, this is something that I want to learn from her, or, you know, grasp from her. Whereas though some people aren't like that. And then especially when we talk about relationships and you meet somebody, and then, you know, in the beginning, sometimes like, oh, he worried about where I'm at, or she worried about where she at. You get what I mean? We think it's cute. And then until it wear off and they keep asking. And it's that one time you can't even enjoy yourself, or you can't do your work, or you can't do something because they want every 2 seconds. What you doing? Where you at? Oh, who you around? Where you at? So those are then, and we always say, look at the red flags. Sometimes we think the red flags is cute and lovable in the beginning. We've all been guilty of it. At some point in life, we thought, oh, they kids so nice. They're so nice. They're worried about me. And then eventually, when you really trying to, or you might have had a little disagreement and they blowing your phone up, then you don't answer the phone, but you might have liked a post on social media. You ain't even had to post. You could have just liked, oh, your little green light been on. Next thing you know, you getting cussed out through a text message. Oh, you can't answer. All because you jealous of my time. Sometimes people don't understand. You can't always get the time, but you got to be open and hold yourself accountable for your insecurities and acknowledge that you have these traits. Like all of y'all say y'all somewhat jealous. Okay, cool. You honest about that. That lets the other person know she might get a little crazy from time to time. Can I deal with this? I know I don't like to be questioned, so I don't question. You get what I'm saying? So I know that about me. I'm not jealous in the fact that I'm worrying about you going over. Go ahead and go get that. I know what I can do. I can walk away. I'm not. And when I'm tired and when I'm not. So, but when you try to control the situation because you're jealous of how somebody's spending time, or you can't even go to the bathroom in peace without a person wanting to be there because they so jealous about what you're going to do, that's, to me, though they beyond real red flags. That's a sign that you might do something to me.
I say that's domestic.
That's extreme.
But that's what I'm saying. But how you, the way you put it, positive jealousy, but jealousy can lead to other things, and it leads to domestics in a relationship sometimes. I've been in one where it started like with the control and all of that stuff. It happens.
It happens more than people think. Like the controlling and the manipulation that your supposed to be significant other presents to you, and you're like, oh, I can do that, but then you're taking away yourself and your well-being for somebody else who don't care. So I just feel as though in order to be jealous of someone, you know, and what they have, maybe you can better yourself as a person internally and just find out what you need spiritually, physically, like what can I do to myself that can better myself so I'm not like, what do you call it? like I'm not hovering over that person. And I
self-acknowledgement, acknowledge that you have the problem. And that's the thing, when we don't acknowledge else, and I look at it like this. And I mean, I know you have heard me say this. Anybody who know me, everybody's flawed. You get what I'm saying? I'm highly flawed. Some people think they perfect and that they don't have flaws, right? So it's kind of like when people are like, well, what's wrong with you? Or da-da-da-da-da. Some people are like, nothing. You have to accept your flaws before anybody else can. Like one of y'all flaws is y'all somewhat jealous. Okay, that's ownership. That's taking accountability for that. You get what I mean? How jealous you may be, who may know? But do we know the signs of when somebody is jealous? Again, those are signs that you're dealing with somebody that's jealous, somebody who wants all of your time. Soon as you go and say, hey, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends. Where y'all going? Who you going with? Then you out with your friends. You can't even enjoy your time out with your friends because they on your line or they want to FaceTime you.
You said you want.
That's because that person insecure.
Like, what you doing now?
Who's that?
Hi, Rich.
Hello.
Hello?
That
That
Rich.
ain't Rich. Rich was deeper than that. Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Marco.
Hello.
I thought it was Rich too. But
I
yeah,
knew that wasn't.
that wasn't gay. That was somebody else.
That
But
wasn't.
it goes into, I think like I said, we always look at jealousy like, no, she don't like me, da. But jealousy can spill so much, and it starts with the little tedious stuff.
Right.
And then we ignore that it can turn into something big until it becomes something big. And definitely, like they said, definitely what I mean. So it's kind of like, yeah. And I mean, I can admit I was, and part of my jealousy in a relationship was based off of my own insecurities. You get what I'm saying? So I was always thinking, oh, he probably with somebody look better than man. Now I don't even care. I ain't gotta be. I know I ain't all that, but I'm all that to somebody. So when I know now, when I'm all that to somebody, I'm good. I don't worry about that other stuff. But we just got to be mindful that even though you could be mindful and headstrong about and confident in yourself and where you are, we got to understand sometimes people around us closely, no matter what area they're close to us in, could low-key be jealous. Some people hide it very well. Some people get manipulative, as you said. Some people try to do things to hurt you purposely, sometimes unintentionally. And some people don't even know that they jealous. I didn't even know I was jealous until later on down life. I was doing that. I was bugging. I was tripping. I was jealous of the mug. You could do what you gonna why you wearing that outside? Tajah, you know. Oh, you ain't got no shirt on today?
No shirt on today.
You better put a shirt on, put a turtleneck on. It could be 90 degrees. You gotta cover up. Now I'm like, go ahead, because that's me.
Well, Mama
look
Duke.
Good. Yeah, like look good. That's me. I ain't worried about that now. But I just think there's levels to it.
Mama Dukes.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Tajah had talked to me about some stuff in how you can read off people. I mean,
me?
Do you mind like reading what you can see off me?
Oh my gosh. You gonna hate me?
Only if
you want me to channel you. Well, truthfully, honestly, I would have to meet you. Like in person.
Oh, you need to feel my energy.
Yes. I'm big on energies, and I haven't really been wrong yet about energy.
You hurt a couple feelings though.
I don't hurt nobody's feelings.
No. I don't take nothing to heart because I know who I am as a person and what I messed up in my life and what my flaws. Like I'm well aware of my flaws, and I've been trying to fix it very slowly. You know how to do it very slowly. I've been overcoming, but there's still much more to work on. And I'm not pressed to rush myself. Again, I'm only 30. So I got some years.
Well, the first thing is you're intelligent. I definitely get that. Yeah. But if you understand that you're on a journey, only person that can go through your journey is you. And I tell my children that all the time. We all go through our personal journeys, personal growth experience. Your journey may be different. Only thing I can say is don't expect everything to happen so fastly, like too fast. Pace yourself. Take your time. I think sometimes we put expectations on ourselves and we try to do it all at one time. And if it doesn't happen overnight, we give up. Only thing I can say is you never give up on you, even at my age. I'm still growing. You get what I'm saying? I'm still learning, being positive. It took a long time. Once you find your peace, nobody can take that from you or break it. And you won't allow it. So some people are like, oh, I'm at peace. But really, they still spiraling in the inside. They may know how to cope with situations, but only you know when you're at peace, because certain things won't bother you, disturb it, and you want to protect that at all costs. But only thing I can say is just take it one day at a time. Or you can do a pros and cons of what you want to change within yourself, because everything starts with you. Once you start working on you, everything around you, from your friendships, your circles, anything that come into your life changes because you're seeking something different.
Yeah, those are
So yeah, once that internal
Leave me
change
alone.
starts, you'll be good.
That's the truth. All right, face on.
Embrace. Listen.
I need Mama Duke. Tajah, hook it up.
Embrace your imperfections though. One thing I learned about myself. Number one, I didn't grow up until I turned 30. I'm 36, so I'm a newborn in my eyes because I didn't learn a lot of things. I grew up with a young mother, and because of that, I didn't grow up with under a grown woman teaching. So I didn't learn how to be a grown woman until I was actually a grown woman. And that's something that a lot of women aren't ready to admit yet. That, we don't really know how to be women until we actually already grown up into womanhood. But I didn't really learn independence and, things like that until I became 30. And I actually, had a different mind frame. You're going to start wising up from your 30s on. Look, like, no bullcrap. And your mind frame that's why before, we probably would have had a different conversation with me about the jealousy thing. But now, where I am in life, like in my teachings, my self-teachings of myself, my self-awareness, people, that's why y'all hear me say, I don't care about somebody being jealous of me. I got too much invested in myself. I love who I am. I love the person that I am. I love where I am. I don't got time to worry about somebody else hating and worrying about them and me. What I'm going to do is speak on it, correct it. And if you don't change it, then I can't change you. I'm not dealing with you. Now, when you're dealing in a work environment, that's different. You got to deal with that a little differently. So I got to, you got to know how to deal with people that's, jealous of you in a work environment, whether you like to or not. Just unnotice it. So that's where you got I don't, care to deal with it. But in life, I'm not going to be jealous of nobody. And I can honestly say I ain't going to admit it. The only person I want to ever be jealous of is myself. If I ever fall off, I want to be jealous of my previous self from when I was up. And that's what I want to get back to. But I don't ever want to be jealous of nobody else. That's just it.
Yeah.
Embrace your imperfections. Change, grow, all that, but embrace your imperfections.
Your imperfections make you unique, but everybody's...
Yeah, girl, because they make me. Because everybody don't like me at work, and I'm often misunderstood, but I don't care. I speak my
even with being misunderstood, and when you talk about growth and womanhood and becoming an adult, it's not even about, in my personal opinion, it's not about your age. Like, people can go through life and not learn and take nothing from life lessons. So whatever experiences you have, you take something from, and it's only going to weigh you down if you let it. Sometimes we let our circumstances, situations, whatever life throw at us, sometimes we let it go in a bucket and sink, tied around our ankles, and it sink us down. You can't do that. When it throw you them lemons, you can catch them, but then you got to figure out what you're going to make with it. So sometimes, like, it may be 40. Some people be 45, 50. Still ain't figure it out. Still doing the same thing. Everybody's journey is just different. But also, like I said, you know what you want to change when you want to change it. And you just take that and you take it day by day. Sometimes people look at other people and be like, I want to be like that. You can't look at other people and decide what you want to be. You got to be who you are.
Pause, before I forget. I get everything you're saying, but don't look at it by the number. I know what I said about the 30s. In your 30s, we all do get wilder. 40 and above, we know better. But in our 30s, in our 20s, we there's room for mistakes is all I'm saying. In your 20s, your 30s, you really start wising up. I've noticed that with a lot of people, everybody even saying like, there's something about like when you get in your 30s, 30 and above, you do start to wise. You know better. It's what you choose to do with it. It's what you choose to do with it at that point or not. People make excuses. A lot of people don't grow up, yeah, but
that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. Just because you are age and people go through stuff, they say, yeah, you know better, but do you do better? You get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, you have people who know better all through their life and just don't do better, don't change. They still stay stuck where they at in a certain place and they don't evolve. What I'm talking about is you talking about elevation and finding your peace. That's something that the individual got to find. I can't, just like people be like, how do you do X, Y, and Z? I can't tell you that because it may not work for you. You got to go through your journey. I can tell you what I did and maybe see if it helped. But it also, sometimes you just got to change. It starts with you. And what is it that you want to change to be better? Sure. And it's a journey. It just don't happen overnight. Everybody, situations different. Some people just don't learn. Some people like to play the blame game, but it all starts with you got to take accountability for yourself. Until you start doing that, you're not going to see anything happen within yourself. You got to find something deeper to hold on to get to that point where you are now. With the, fuck them. They can be all they want and don't see it. Like a lot of times we don't see it. It may take somebody else on the outside saying it, but when you start blocking stuff in whatever journey that you're going to go through a whole nother one. Because I don't even think like how I did 3 years ago or last year. Mm-hmm. That's why I say every day is a process. I don't want to do the same things I did last year. Sometimes I do things because I might try to, I ain't spend no time with my friends. I ain't did this. And I do, that doesn't necessarily mean I want to, but I do it because I need to spend time with, certain people. But right. My evolving is something different. I don't even think the same way that I did even a week ago because I want something different. So that's why I said everything is just different for everybody. So if you don't grow and be better than you was yesterday, it's going to be different. So where you at in your 30s, when you hit 40s, it's a whole nother ballgame. You start looking at life. You should look at life completely different. You're not going to look at it through the same lens. Every day your lens should change.
Okay, Miss Coco. We heard you out here preaching.
Smack.
No, I mean,
I think a show of self. How do you say?
Don't say self-awareness because I did that.
Awareness.
Like I think we need a show where we can show as we as people can evolve. Like how can we, channel our chakras to, positivity and
that's different.
Positivity instead of, we as African Americans, we have that background, we have that planted in our seed of hatred towards a certain race. And it's not necessarily racism, but it's prejudice. I cannot speak words. But
it's okay, girl. I do the same thing. I'm following you though.
But we as a people, we have to focus on our inner thoughts and our inner mind, body, soul. Like we need to evolve, not for, man, but for us.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can find a way,
the one thing I can say about the past, the one thing about the past is we've been groomed for self-hate. So we're going to knock that part out. So you got it. That's where you start the cycle. Yes, we come from certain things of struggle, but one thing our people has always been, but it's not being taught or embedded in our brain, is that we're also resilient. We're also powerful. We're strong. We're kings and queens, but you don't see that. You want to see the beat up, that this is and the third. So that's what we embrace. I'm not embracing that. So I'm not going to exude that into anybody else. I'm going to exude greatness into anybody that look like us. So the first thing we got to do is embrace the positive of the royalty that we are, because that's what we are. That's what we come from.
Yeah,
we come from royalty.
So embrace the positivity and rise ourselves beyond what people think we are, because I feel as though myself, like, as much intelligence that I have, like, I'm not fulfilling my purpose, and I just try to channel myself to help others and just to spread the positive energy that I have within myself to others so they can spread that, and then so forth and so forth.
That's dope.
Okay. So I know we got 2 minutes. I'm going to say one thing to Miss Nicole. Never say you haven't found your purpose. Because if you say you help others, you do all of that, if you get reward from that, that's part of your purpose. Your journey is your purpose. You're pouring into other people. So never say that. Just say you on your journey of whatever you're trying to find. Your zen, your peace. Take it day by day and just know you're great, and it's going to get greater every day. Affirmations. Tell Tajah, tell you about it.
Oh,
But
no.
I'm gonna call you after that. I'm gonna call you after that. But I know we gotta go. But actually, I'm gonna bring that back, and I want you to come on the show to talk about it.
I'm here whenever you need me. She got my number.
Thank you for calling and coming in. Jude, thank you. It's always a pleasure, because I need the rawness.
Hey, I say just tell damn, getting the names all mixed up. Tell Dollar High, you know who I'm talking about. And a little Doug in the red too.
Let her FaceTime you when she come back home.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.